forces on Japanese-held islands in Micronesia were to absorb and wear down an expected American counteroffensive. 124. However, American industrial power became apparent and the military forces that faced the Japanese in 1943 were overwhelming in firepower and equipment. 124. From the end of 1943 to 1944, Japan's defensive perimeter failed to hold. 124. The defeat at the Philippine Sea was a disaster for Japanese naval air power, with American pilots terming slanted air forward/sea battle the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot, mostly going in the favor of the U.S. 126. While the Battle of Leyte Gulf led to the destruction of a large part of the surface fleet. 127. During the last phase of the war, the Imperial Japanese Navy resorted to a series of desperate measures, including a variety of special attack units which were popularly called kamikaze. 128. By May 1945, most of the Imperial Japanese Navy had been sunk and the remnants had taken refuge in Japan's harbors. 127. By July 1945, Nagato was the only remaining ship of the Imperial Japanese Navy's capital ships that had not been sunk in raids by the United States Navy. 129. Legacy. The aircraft carrier Ibuki under dismantling operation at Sasebo Naval Arsenal, October 1946. Self-defense forces. Following Japan's surrender and subsequent occupation by the Allies at the conclusion of World War II, the Imperial Japanese Navy, along with the rest of the Japanese military, was dissolved in 1945. In the new Constitution of Japan, which was drawn up in 1947, Article 9 specifies that the Japanese people forever renounce war as a sovereign right of the nation and the threat or use of force as a means of settling international disputes. 130. The prevalent view in Japan is that this article allows for military forces to be kept for the purposes of self-defense. 131. In 1952, the Coastal Safety Force was formed within the Maritime Safety Agency, incorporating feminine sweeping fleet and other military vessels, mainly destroyers, given by the United States. In 1954, the Coastal Safety Force was separated, and the JMSDF was formally created as the naval branch of the Japanese Self-Defense Force, JSDF, following the passage of the 1954 Self-Defense Forces Law. Japan's current navy falls under the umbrella of the Japan Self-Defense Forces, JSDF, as the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, JMSDF. 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138. See also. Flag. Japan Portal Flag. Taiwan Portal Flag. South Korea Portal Flag. North Korea Portal Admiral of the Fleet, Japan. Carrier Striking Task Force. Control Faction and Imperial Way Faction Army political groups about government reform. Fleet Faction and Treaty Faction Navy political groups about naval treaties. Imperial Japanese Naval Academy. Imperial Japanese Navy Armor Units. Imperial Japanese Navy Aviation Bureau. Imperial Japanese Navy Bases and Facilities. Imperial Rescript to Soldiers and Sailors. Japanese Special Naval Landing Forces. List of Japanese Navy ships and war vessels in World War II. List of weapons of the Japanese Navy. The 15th of May incident coup d'etat with Navy support. Recruitment in the Imperial Japanese Navy. Strike South and Strike North doctrines. Top Kietai Navy Military Police.
Very good. So that's a lot of good links. My camcorder is almost out of power. So this is very hot in my apartment, like 31, so I had to read it again in the future because I'm close to fall asleep because it's so hot. It's 31 or 32 degrees. So I like to stop the video and get something to drink.